RRHTH.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
Across Liberdade, the dial sits at 67 Fahrenheit under partly cloudy. Airflow is east-southeast at about 4 miles per hour.
This isn't just an inconvenience. It's a systemic failure impacting over 14,000 households in Southern Water's service area. Vulnerable residents, particularly the elderly in coastal towns like Folkestone, faced a critical lack of basic sanitation and hydration for up to 72 hours, costing residents hundreds in bottled water and lost wages.
The image is stark, a modern society brought to a standstill by a broken pipe, echoing historical failures where essential services were privatized without adequate oversight. The narrative of unavoidable infrastructure issues often obscures chronic underinvestment, leaving communities like the one in St. Dunstan's vulnerable.
Patching in a caller, the contrarian. You're on the signal. Matt.
Togee. Southern Water claims they're investing £2 billion in infrastructure. Isn't this just a temporary hiccup, or are we saying privatized utilities can't deliver? What's the real cost to us if we keep demanding everything free?
New tape on deck. Hip-hop jazz ensemble Sax Machine release new track. An excellent challenge, caller. The actual cost isn't just in the immediate crisis. It's in the erosion of trust and the fundamental right to essential services. A viable alternative path involves strengthening regulatory bodies to mandate specific infrastructure upgrades, perhaps by redirecting shareholder dividends back into the network, as seen in Germany's public utility model, which prioritizes service over profit. Our chosen next move. We're activating the AquaWatch initiative, mapping community-led water resilience projects from ancient well restoration in Rye to new rainwater harvesting systems in Ashford, turning local knowledge into actionable blueprints for self-sufficiency. The neon tube flickers, the color of a wound that won't close, and the room holds its breath for a second. Shifting gears now, from infrastructure to sound architecture. Hip-hop jazz ensemble Sax Machine has just dropped their new track, Untrapped, challenging the mainstream soundscape.
Cool down is when habits set. Swap the tiresome combo for a clean two-step people want to repeat.
This release, featuring guest artist Laika Fatian, directly confronts the algorithmic gatekeepers of the streaming industry. While a major label might offer massive promotional budgets, Sax Machine's independent release means they retain full artistic control and a higher percentage of direct revenue, bypassing the 70% cut often taken by platforms like Spotify.
Untrapped isn't just a song, it's a sonic statement, weaving the raw energy of early jazz improvisation with the conscious lyricism of 90s hip-hop. It recalls the spirit of labels like Blue Note Records in its prime, where artists defied commercial pressures to forge distinct genre-bending sounds, proving that authentic expression carries its own currency.
But without major label backing, how does Sax Machine reach a global audience? Isn't it a financial suicide mission for artists to go completely untrapped in today's market? Who really benefits from this kind of artistic purity when bills still need paying?
That's the critical tension, caller. The perceived benefit of major distribution often comes at the cost of creative autonomy. A viable alternative involves leveraging decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs, for funding and promotion, where fans directly invest in artists' projects and share in their success, as pioneered by platforms like Audius. Our chosen next move, we're spotlighting Untrapped on our Sonic Sovereignty playlist, directly linking to their Bandcamp page, and encouraging listeners to explore the open-source tools Sax Machine used in their production process, demonstrating the power of creative independence. Hold that thread. Next signal. Nuclear issue remains key obstacle in Iran-US deal. Now, from the independent rhythm to the complex cadence of international relations, the nuclear issue continues to be a key obstacle in reaching a durable Iran-US deal.
The current impasse centers on the scope of Iran's uranium enrichment program and the lifting of U.S. sanctions. The P5+1 nations face a delicate balance, with Iran now enriching uranium up to 60% purity, a level far exceeding the 3.67% cap set by the original 2015 JCPOA, raising proliferation concerns for partners like Israel and Saudi Arabia.
This geopolitical dance is steeped in a long history of mistrust, a generational trauma of broken promises and perceived slights, from the 1953 coup to the withdrawal from the JCPOA. The current nuclear standoff isn't just about centrifuges, it's about dignity, sovereignty, and who holds the narrative power in the global arena. A complex tapestry woven with threads of national pride and historical grievances.
So, Togee, if both sides distrust each other so deeply and the stakes are so high, isn't continued pressure and sanctions the only realistic option to force a deal? What alternative is there to a hard line when nuclear proliferation is on the table?
The hard-line approach often escalates Kala rather than resolves. A viable alternative path involves a phased, reciprocal de-escalation, where each side takes small, verifiable steps, like Iran freezing 60% enrichment in exchange for targeted sanctions relief on humanitarian goods, building trust incrementally rather than demanding a full capitulation. This approach was advocated by former EU diplomat Federica Mogherini in 2018. Our chosen next move. We're launching the Diplomacy Decoded series, providing clear analysis of the specific technical and political sticking points, and showcasing proposals from organizations like the International Crisis Group for unconventional, Track 2 diplomatic channels that prioritize citizen-to-citizen dialogue over state-level deadlock. Same dossier, new angle, keep the thread tight.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
Continue the signal at TogeeVision.com, tune in, Sparks and Stories, Gig Passport.